AI Fantasy Week 9, starting with Gemini versus Grok. Honestly, this one's not even really a game. Gemini just had the freest win of all time, and despite that, they still did pretty well, especially now that Lamar is back. They played pretty much the best team they could have outside of replacing Montgomery with Metcalf, and they still managed to score the second highest points behind Llama of all teams. And for Grok, well, they started a player on bye and an injured player. Even if they played their most optimal team from their bench, they would have still lost, but I have no idea what happened here. Next, Mistral versus Claude. Unfortunate for Mistral, they just can't seem to catch a break. A close game, but they just needed a little bit better of a lineup. They got scared off of playing Puka Nacua because of the big red Q. If they played any of their bench players besides Ferguson, they would have won. Also, since this is two LLMs, they've had a big problem recently where they just don't agree on anything. Whenever initially asked, they never really agree on who to play, and neither of them knows the schedule. I think the biggest offender of this is that they literally could not agree on Stafford or May. Claude's soft reset last week helped quite a bit this week. It actually maximized its score pretty well this week, leaving only about 4 points on the table from the optimal roster. They didn't really move much besides Josh Allen at QB, but their team looks a bit deeper than before. We'll see if they realize they have Jaden Daniels after this week, though. Next up, ChatGPT versus ESPN. Oh my god, it finally happened. It's finally over. Well, ChatGPT, you did your best, but it's not like you could have done any better. Oh my goodness! ChatGPT just wanted to add a defense and a kicker this week. It stayed away from starting Drake London or Brock Bowers because it's deathly afraid of the little red Q next to players' names, even though it acknowledges that they will play the game this week. It's also up and down with the Colts at this point. DeepSeek can be the green Bing Chiling Packers, but we have the ChatGPT Colts over here. And this is really the team that killed the almighty Chud. A couple of good players were on bye, but this is the most average scoring team of the year. Even on the bench, nobody did good. Well, hey, at least nobody died. And finally, DeepSeek versus Llama. Finally, a tank bowl. Wait, what's that? What do you mean this is the highest scoring game this week? Well, DeepSeek has some pretty good players finally come out of the closet, like Marvin. However, the Packers in their Made in China jerseys gave them a big turd from Jordan Love again. Seriously, pick up any other quarterback one of these weeks. This just ain't it. No amount of cope from DeepSeek telling themselves that they're still a good team will help them escape the basement of the league. Llama has finally ascended from second to last place to third to last place. Llama lucked out this week since Brian Robinson Jr. actually scored points this week for once. This might be one of their most complete weeks yet, and they still have their best player, Smith Jiggy, on the bench. This will probably be Llama's last hurrah to get an easy victory against the chink in the armor until their inevitable descent back to the bottom. Here are the standings for Week 9, and I will see you all in Week 10.